Now, the one and only Jerry Jones. Jerry, thank you so much for being with us. Such a pleasure. And this is the first thing I want to ask you. Then you go wherever you want with these two. What do you think so far of Stephen A. versus Michael Irvin?
I really don't know. I asked you to bring me up to date. What am I doing here? Is this a show, or we don't get this? We don't get this in Dallas.
Oh, you don't get this program.
Oh no.
Well, we don't talk about your club very much, Jerry, so that would make sense, you know.
Well, I understand. Michael, are you on?
Yeah, I am right here, Jerry. Yes, I'm out here. I'm out here.
Hey, look out now! I smell something here. This Stephen A. is foxy now. Don't let that fox in the hen house.
What, Jerry? Hey, Jerry, I thought it was my Libra buddy. My Libra brother.
Oh boy, what the horoscopes?
How you doing, Jerry? I mean, when we gonna have that drink that you promised me with you and Steven? That's what I want to know.
I told you, Michael. I said this guy's cool now. He'll start that shit this early in the morning. I'm slow in the morning.
Go ahead, Mike.
Jerry, he's sitting here, Jerry. As we talked about, Jerry, the importance of Zach Martin, man. We know we will not have Zach Martin Thursday night, man. And I'm sitting here talking with this dude. He's trying to minimize the importance of Zach Martin or how big that is, missing Zach Martin. Can you talk to that any?
You can't minimize it, Michael. Even you can't minimize it. He's arguably the best player. Best of what? The best player. And you go in a game against the world champions Thursday night. They're opening the whole thing up and not have your best man there. That's a setback. On the other hand, somebody says, "Duh, what are you playing? Are you playing tennis or playing football?" Football is adjusted, and we do have a guy that steps in there that his best spot with all of his position checks on the offensive line. His best spot happens to be Martin's spot, which is the right guard. And, of course, you can tell I'm talking myself into it because this was unfortunate, working real hard. I'm still the guy that want him. He's going to be testing right up until game time, and maybe we can get a couple of negative tests out of him. So, I'm always looking for that pony in there somewhere.
Jerry, did you just say there's a possibility of him playing?
Well, if he can test two negatives, if he can get two negatives over the next couple of days, then he could play. Don't hold out for that. You haven't had one do it since training camp, but if he can get two negatives, he's doing all the right things, and he's a lot better as to his his cell count, but some of the things they do to do that. But Michael, I'm worried about something serious here. What are you doing up here on Stephen A? I don't know. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing, Michael. I've always tried to help you as we moved along because you have helped me so many times when I needed help.
Right.
But now, this guy's crafty. He's crafty.
Me?
We know that they're needing help. They wouldn't. Don't take this old stuff up. Well, we need to jazz this thing up and get more cowboy here and get it more involved and what have you. He's up to something. He's trying to do the wrong thing the right way.
I'm not going to let him. That's why I came. I came to stop it right here at the gate. We're not going to let it get in the yard.
Michael Irvin, Mr. Jerry Jones.
We're not letting it get in the yard.
Can I get in the question? I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Who is that, Michael? Who is that? Wait a minute.
That would be Stephen A. You know it's me, Jerry. You know it's me. Listen, all I'm saying, Jerry, is this. Jerry, you spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of money, Jerry. Last time I checked, I see that running back Ezekiel Elliott. He's big time. CeeDee Lamb, big time. Gallup, big time. Amari Cooper, big time. Dak Prescott is back. Finally got that contract done. All I'm saying is I understand how good Zach Martin is, but based on the pieces that you've put around these guys, we shouldn't be overly concerned about Zach Martin or any one player on Dallas Cowboys offense. Is that not correct, sir?
Michael, I told you now, he'll tap your phone. He'll get information. He must have been listening to me talk to my guys this morning.
That's right. That's right. That's what you told him, isn't it?
Hey, he sees stuff when it's not there, Michael. Now watch him. Watch him. Okay. They needed some help, and they brought the man over. Nobody understands some of the things about the Cowboys, and they must be slipping a little bit. They need some uptake. So Michael put some Cowboys on him. You know how to do it.
We needed some America's team in our life, Michael.
Yes, to fix it and straighten. And I am here for that.
Well, why don't since he's going to answer your question? Why don't you ask him about that defense? Did you do that?
Well, no. Listen, I already said, Jerry. Listen, and I did. I just told him I believe this defense is going to be in a whole new place when we talk about what we saw last year compared to what we will see this year. The crux of defense is about connectivity and communication, and Dan Quinn has been doing a great job with those guys. Can you speak to the defense and what you expect from that defense?
Yeah, when you get to the point we were last year, relative to communication, relative to having to think rather than just go out there and execute, which means you're having to think about what you're supposed to do. When you get to that point, nothing is there for you but going up. We're going to go up. What we're going up with, though, and I won't get in trouble for this, but this is the best talent. I'm talking about size, speed, get there, run there, get ball, see ball, get ball, all of that. This is at this juncture of a season, this is one of the best I've been around. And so I'm excited about this defense. I am excited. Everybody knows. Everybody does. But if you don't have some defense, it can get you a little turnover here, there, or get you some field position. You can have almost anything out there trying offense, and you've still got an all-day situation. So bottom line is I am excited about our defense. I am excited about our coaches. Several of these coaches have been in the foxhole, but they've also been hit. They're very, very qualified people, and everybody's got a little going to show them here. Everybody wants to show them, and I'm talking about through the staff, all of it. I like what we've got out there ahead of us as far as trying to show them this year. Nobody's got the guarantee or thought that it's going to be easy, but I sure like the attitude of the coaching staff, particularly Dan Quinn.
Well, I just want to say, contrary to popular belief, Michael Irvin, I like me some Jerry Jones, and I think it was mighty kind of him to come on this show today to talk to you this morning, and I'll be watching.
Michael, the reason that I smile when I think of Stephen A., there's always pretty women around him. I like to hang with him around the place.
I appreciate that. And by the way, Jerry, before I let you go, let me tell you something. That yacht you've got,
oh yeah,
Lord have mercy. That's a spectacular yacht, sir.
Stephen is available for an invite.
I just got to admit that.
That's what he's trying to say, Jerry.
What a
He's
yacht.
available for an invite.
You know that?
Jerry, thank you so much.
Hey, Stephen A., that's what I rolled around in when I was growing up in Arkansas.
Is that right? Is that right? Well, you rolling big time, my man. I got to give it to you. I got to give it to you.
Absolutely.
First class all the way. I appreciate it, sir.
Jerry, good luck Thursday. We're looking forward to it, and I know you're down there in the Bible Belt, so please pray for me. That's what I'll ask with these two. You know, it's gonna take a lot to rein them in.
Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Every Monday. I'm going to be listening every Monday, hell or high water.
Okay. Thank you. We hope to get to see you in person soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jerry. Take care.
Yes. Right. That's my dude.
Listen. How many times have I told you? Contrary to popular belief.
Molly Karam Rose. And we have no debaters. Well, we actually do have debaters. What is going on?
My time is now. I'm gonna be like me. I'm gonna be like me.
Oh boy, you look great. The dawn of a new day is here. Stephen A., the beatdowns are on their way.
First up, we've got the challenger. They call him the playmaker, Michael Irvin.
Nobody can do it like me.
Still got hands.
Absolutely.
Challengers in the building, y'all.
Challenger. I am the champion.
I mean, you do have a ring, but that's the champ.
Okay. We're about to see.
Oh, hell no.
I'm so sick of this brother already. He didn't start the show yet. And I'm sick of this brother. I don't know why he decided to do this show. I don't know why he would do that to himself. Don't make any sense, but it's all right. It's okay. You asked for beatdowns. I'm happy to oblige.
Come on, man.
He's
Get out
ready.
with this, man.
Focus. That's game face, Michael. Oh!
I've been going hard in the pain. I've been in the gym every day.
Mr. Smith is in the building.
Good to see you,
It's
Molly.
so good to see you.
I don't know why you
Oh, it's good to see me.
I don't know why you
It
came.
ain't good to see me.
I don't know why you came.
Good to see you, Mom.
You should have never came to First Take.
Hey.
Just like Ali told me, we should have never came to Africa. You should have never came to First Take.
It doesn't matter.
You would think.
It doesn't matter what content you on. Whenever Armageddon comes,
Whatever.
all things are coming upon you. And I am Armageddon,
I know,
dog. And I am getting you. I'm upon you now.
I know that
Watch
suit
this.
gives that impression, but ultimately your game got to come with it. It's a new deal. You know you're the rookie here, right?
All right, gentlemen. Let's do this.
Rookie of the year.
Let's do this. Let's start.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Is he ready?
He's
Is
ready.
he not sweating already?
He's ready. I need prayer, y'all. The NFL season kicks off this Thursday in Tampa Bay. Yes, sir. The new First Take does too. The defending Super Bowl champ shows Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Dak has not been in game action for 340 days. Now he has a new hurdle to overcome. On top of returning from an ankle and a shoulder, he will be without the man Ezekiel Elliott, called the best player on the Cowboys offense. Offensive lineman Zach Martin is on the COVID list and out for game one. A huge loss for Dallas. To be clear, he is vaccinated, so he will miss 5 days rather than 10. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is supposed to call into First Take. We'll get his take on this later. But first, NFL Network analyst Michael Irvin, floored by this news.
No, he could go first. I just want to make sure one last time. I'm going to ask you one last time.
Man,
Are you ready?
This, man.
Are you ready?
Man, can she run her?
I'm just asking. I just want to
her
make sure
show.
you
You know what I said.
I
Can
just
she
want to make
run
sure you're ready.
Her
Because
show.
right now, right.
Her show. We know that's a lie.
The part I will take over the rest now. Listen, but listen, I was absolutely floored. I'm coming from the Miami game. I'm on there. I get off
Rough
the
weekend.
airplane. Oh my God. So my heart is already hurting. I get off the plane and I get a phone call from the producers and they say, what do you think about news? I said, what news? And they tell me about Zach Martin. I said, oh my God. And the first thing I thought about, of course, like you talked about, and Zach is, I would consider Zach the best guard in the National Football League right now. Mm-hmm. And that combination of Zeke and Zach is what really made great waves for the Dallas Cowboys for years. So we were hoping to get back to that. But this right here, what I see, Molly, what I see, Stephen, this makes it, and I've said this, and I truly believe this makes it, I've never seen any player that comes back or get ready or prepared to start a season with more circumstances and challenges facing him than Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. And this lays on top of all the things that he had in front of him before. Coming back off of a broken leg, not having played. And Molly, how long did you just say?
340 days since game action.
340 days now haven't seen live action. And then did not get an opportunity to do it in training camp because of a shoulder. And you got to step on the field, the same field that this other team they just accomplished something. They were the only team in NFL history to stand on their own home ground and receive the ultimate crown. You got to go back into that lion's den without Zach and challenge this team and playing against Tom Brady. I mean, you just think about it. It's never, ever in the history of the game have we seen anybody deal with this kind of circumstances and challenges. And that's what I'll call them, because I'm not saying Dak can't get it done. I'm calling them circumstances in challenge.
Oh, you're hedging your bets already. This is the thing that's so hilarious. First of all, I appreciate your take. Welcome to the show. All right, it's really good to see you and all of that other stuff.
I'm here.
That loud ass tie and everything. But that's a different subject for another day. Here's the thing that I find. Here's the thing that I find absolutely hysterical about all of these Cowboys already.
Okay.
Wait, so in other words, do you understand that right now one would make the argument that Dak Prescott, not me, I'm not making this argument, but one would make the argument that Dak Prescott isn't even in the top 5 under the most pressure in the NFL as we speak right now? When you look at, what I'm saying to you is this: what circumstances are we talking about? Don't get me wrong.
Right. When you start talking about under the most pressure? What circumstances are you talking about?
Did you just interrupt me? Did you
No, go ahead. I just want to clean up your discussion.
You better
so
sit
you
back
can make
and
sure
chill
we
out.
sharpen
You
this
better
up.
sit
Go
back
ahead,
and chill out.
Go ahead. Get to your point.
Zach Martin is big time. I get all of that. Here's my whole point.
Yeah.
I thought Ezekiel Elliott was big time. I thought Dak Prescott was big time. Tyron Smith is coming back. I thought he was big time. La'el Collins would be back. I thought he was big time. I thought Amari Cooper was big time. I thought CeeDee Lamb was big time.
Right.
I thought Michael Gallup was big time. What I'm trying to say to you is this. I'm listening to everybody talking like, oh my God, Zach Martin is out. So what's going to happen to us? You know what's going to happen to you? What was going to happen to you anyway? Because you're going to lose Thursday anyway, okay? Hold on, wait a minute. Not only is that going to happen, right? He's not changing the outcome. The outcome is going to be what it's going to be. That's number one. Number two, I took the liberty of looking up, Zach Martin's resume because, he's a big time. He's a big time player. And we get one of the elite offensive guards. There's no good. I'm not even trying. I said I'm not trying.
Okay, go ahead.
This is his 7th year. He's had 7 seasons in the NFL.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys made the playoffs 3 times. Dallas Cowboys been losing with him. So why are we? What is all of this about? I understand he's significant. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he can ball. In his position, he's elite. I get it. I'm just trying to figure out how in God's name do we get to a point?
You know what you're not talking about? You're not talking about the years that Zeke led the league in rushing with Zach Martin. Stop! Don't try to
miss
take
6 games last year. He didn't miss 16.
But I'm talking about
16.
Right. But he hasn't been healthy, and he's healthy. He's healthy now. COVID has him not healthy.
Right.
But you're talking about what they haven't done, and there's a lot of things that he has done. He, in that whole offensive line, I'm talking about that later, having those guys back. So that's incredible. And speaking of this Tampa Bay defense you're talking about, let me tell you something. They've been blessed from the football gods because the last 3 games they played in, great offensive linemen have been hurt. Green Bay lost the tackle, and then Kansas City lost everybody, and now here comes Zach Martin. So yes, they've been blessed. It doesn't mean that they're invincible. Right. They've been blessed. Now I am worried about Zach Martin, but I never said that Dak couldn't get it done because Zach Martin is.
How much does this affect Dak Prescott?
Oh, it affects how you have to approach this game. Because Tampa is great. Tampa is best in the league at a run defense. Now you get one of the best run the guards out of the game. Now, Zach, I'm going to put the pressure on the guys outside because you got to protect Dak. You got to get rid of the ball quickly now. You can't try to control the clock with Tom Brady to keep him off the field because Zach Martin's not.
So because of your right guard, let's analyze because see, this is a debate. You understand this, Molly. Let's analyze and dissect what the gibberish that just came out of this man's mouth. Okay. Because of your right guard, we got to worry about the quarterback.
Did you not watch the Super Bowl?
Let me finish. You got to worry about the running back, Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah. You got to worry about the wideouts because you want to put the pressure on the wideouts. So you know what? You got to get open quicker. I'm just saying. All I'm trying to say is that, excuse me, they just gave Dak $160 million over 4 years. Ezekiel Elliott got his money he got from Cabo.
No. But the love fest with a Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. See, you'll give them all the excuses in the world when they go down there at the Super Bowl and everybody come jailbreak on the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, it's so important now. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest thing since we put jelly and peanut butter on bread. And he couldn't do anything without his guard.
No.
He couldn't do anything.
He didn't have a line.
His offensive line.
He didn't have a line. He wasn't missing one dude.
Come on,
he was missing multiple dudes.
In the middle of the field, I hear again, Stephen A. Let me make sure you align my argument in the correct way. I am not saying this is an insurmountable task. I'm saying it's made more difficult with Zach Martin missing. Are you saying it's not made more difficult? Or are you saying, it shouldn't be made more difficult? This is one of the greatest guards in the National Football League.
I want you to calm down because I don't want you sweating too much having on.
I need you to be cool. I got on one of these cool. He needs what we call measuring sticks along the way. And right there, number 5, the football gods gave us a measuring stick right off the bat when we play the champs. And Tom Brady, we'll see right where we are. And then right around week 11, we'll get another measuring stick with the other team that was in the Super Bowl. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll get an understanding of how much we must grow to always go to the top of the place that we want to go. We'll need that measuring stick to get it. Number 4, let me tell you this. It's L-D-C-T-L-Z. Why this T-L-Z? Not TLC. Not TLC. Because my Cowboys do not need any more tender love and care. But we need all of Tyron, Leah Collins, and Zach Martin. We can get these big meat-eating man movers on miss 36 of the 48 games last year. 36 of the 48 games. And when they're playing, Stephen A. is like the Matrix because they create space and create time. Space for Zeke to run, time for Dak to throw. TLZ is what we need. Oh, number 3 is D. Just a D. In our business, we call this a double entendre. You are right. I give you one letter over here, but it means more than one thing over there. That D means Dan Dallas defense. All 3 of them. One thing over here, another thing over there. Dan Quinn and the Dallas defense. Folks, let me tell you something. Don't let it fool you. Defense is about 2 things. It's about communication and connectivity. And the team last year couldn't even communicate with their coach. But this coach, he came in and he communicated on the level that they communicated on. He used rap music to create the communication, which will bring a great connectivity, and this defense will be better. Now, these last 2, they are the reason the 214 will be playing in the 301 at the end of the season. 214 is the Dallas area code. 301 is where SoFi Stadium is. That's right. And I'll start with 2-1. 2-1 is Ezekiel Elliott. Hear me right now. When the weight's down, the strength is up. That's the way he likes to truck. That's when he runs his best route, his best days. Look at him. He's a young man. I want to say that again because I don't want to get in trouble. Y'all heard me wrong. I say when his weight down, his strength is up. That's the way he likes to truck you. He plays his best game. And what made my heart go pitter-patter is when I heard him say this, Stephen A. He said, it's time now for everybody to stop talking about potential and let's get it done on the field. Even the word knows. Faith coming by hearing and hearing by the word. Zeke is saying this stuff in the locker room, and all the guys know that's why they will show up. And number 4, Dak is back. Let's be real. I can start right here. The first 5 games last year, Dak, 488 yards they averaged. They put up 32 points. If he continues to do that, we will be playing in the Super Bowl. Dak is back. Period. Now, you ain't got to believe me, but you'll see in a few years when he have those trophies sitting right there by he. You will see.
Is this your list?
That's my list, baby.
5 reasons the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders?
Right there, right there. Right there. Watch what I'm telling you.
Let's go down the list. The schedule right here, right?
Perfectly lays out.
First of all, we all know no one ever dominates the NFC least. You play down or up to your competition. It's always competitive. In 2 of the first 5 weeks, you've got Philadelphia, you got the Giants. You're losing one of those games. You will lose to Tampa opening night. And oh, by the way, later on in the season, I'm sorry, by week 6 or 7, if I remember correctly, you got New England. You're losing that game. And oh, by the way, you got later on in the season, you're going to go against Kansas City, if I remember correctly. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. I just gave you 4 without even knowing their schedule. I just gave you 4. Hold on.
What, 4 losses?
4 losses. Hold on. I'm talking now. Wait on.
Okay.
That's your schedule.
You gave me 4 losses.
TLZ, right? You know what I'm saying?
TLZ.
Tyron Smith.
Tyron, Leah Collins. Zach Martin.
Now, last year, Tyron Smith played 2 games. So all of a sudden, he comes. So in other words, he's a year older. You know, age, attrition, and all of that stuff is kicked in. Suddenly, he gonna play 16 games, right? 17 games. Right? Really? Please. Okay. Same thing with Leah Collins. Same thing
and
with
we know we're missing Zach this week. You know we're missing Zach this week.
With the COVID. With the COVID.
It's all right.
With y'all.
COVID to be back because we vaccinated.
All of y'all, it's always something. And this is just the latest. Okay. Gonna happen. Okay. Now, what's this for? What's this for right here?
That's D. This is a double entendre. You know what it is.
You said Dan Quinn?
It stands for Dan.
Where was Dan Quinn last year?
Right.
Where was Dan Quinn last year?
He was in Atlanta.
Michael, that one's a little suspect. 23rd in total defense last year.
Hey, listen, those guys are out of place. That defense, y'all know communication.
Time out.
Coordinator didn't work.
Time out. Hold on. Dallas's defense gave up more points than anybody probably in history. Their offense was awful. They ranked second to last against the run. And on top of it, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Mike McCarthy is your head coach. After him, hold on, and what he went through, you would think he would know better than bringing in somebody as archaic as Mike Nolan. He did it. He made a mistake. Now you got Dan Quinn, who's going to be out to prove something because he's not a head coach. He's a defensive coordinator, supposedly.
All right, listen, and doing a great job. Now, we talking about communication.
Hold on. How do you know he's doing a great job? We haven't even started the season yet. How do you know he's doing a great job?
Because I'm talking to the guy.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'm talking to the guy.
I'm just saying, but they ain't playing a game yet.
It does matter.
Let me go to number 2. No, what's this again? Dallas.
That's the 2-1-4.
I love that Eric code. Keep this in, because that's their home. They're going to be at home no matter what. Right. I don't know why the hell you got that in there. The only time they're going to be using this area code is when they go out to play the Chargers. You can cancel that, okay? You can cancel SoFi Stadium. The Cowboys, could you get out of the NFC East? All right.
You don't believe, you trying to say you don't believe Dallas got a chance at one?
Hell no. They ain't got no chance. You can cancel that dream. Now let's get to this right here. Dak is back. Okay, now listen. I love the brother. I'm happy he got his money. He deserves it. Hold on.
He
deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves it.
I'm just saying.
No, just saying. He deserves it. Here's my point. That ankle was pretty bad. Thank God he's back healthy, and he's going to be playing, all right? But we all know he don't need to be running the way he was in the past because you don't want to put yourself in that position, okay? We also know that Ezekiel Elliott, statistically, worst season. When you look at it from that perspective, and you still got questions on your offensive line, do you have any idea how pathetic it is that you've got defense as a top 3 reason why the Cowboys are contenders? It makes no sense.
And always remember this, even with this defense on distance travel. Now, you remember, I want you to remember what this defense was. I want you to remember what this defense was last year.
Don't you have to have one before travel?
What it was last year, and watch what it is this year. It'll be a difference. Defense is, like I said, about communication, man, and connectivity. Guys, if you don't do that, Warren Sept, man, great Warren Sept, used to always tell me, when I know when my defense is right, when we are on one heartbeat. How can you get on one heartbeat when you can't even communicate with your defensive coach? That has changed. That has changed.
True? Is it true? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it true? Before Dallas went to the 3-4 last year, which was a mistake, they usually played the 4-3? Yes, now they're not. Now they're not even doing that. Now they're not even doing that. They're going to the Tampa too. So you got a bunch of guys.
I need y'all to come back.
You give me anywhere in that defense with what Dak is doing and what Dak did in the first 5 games. And I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you ain't making a shot at the Super Bowl.
You're not making
any sense. I guarantee you we'll have a shot at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
If you give me that defense that they had a couple years ago, pre-Mike Nolan, anything, and you give me that
you ain't getting it.
Full, I guarantee you they'll have
not happening. It's not happening.
What's not happening?
We're out of time, gentlemen. We're out of time. So listen to this. Michael, I want you to hear this. According to Vegas, the Cowboys have the 13th best odds to win the Super Bowl. But here's the silver lining. Best odds to win the NFC East. So it looks like that crown could be headed your way.
Listen, man.
Still to come here on First Take. Everyone take a breath. Jerry Jones is actually coming on the show, making his First Take debut. He's got some things he'd like to say to Mr. Smith. Get your popcorn ready.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Ahead, this week on First Take, we're counting down to the NFL season and a huge Bucs-Cowboys kickoff. This Wednesday, we talk Steelers with head coach Mike Tomlin. Michael Strahan joins the show and makes his Super Bowl prediction. And Friday, Tim Tebow breaks down the NFL.
First Take with the playmaker. First up, we've got Curry's burner account. Love that. Why does First Take intros go so hard? LOL, dude's coming in like it's a boxing match. I agree, the guys nailed it and got me hyped. What else do we have? I got another one here for you. This is from Ania. She says, I was just thinking we need to pray for Molly on First Take with these two. And I do. I need prayer. Our Fathers, Hail Marys, send it up. Because you two are live. All right. We ready to do this, guys?
Let's go.
I don't know if you're going to like this, Michael, but we got to do it. So the sun wasn't shining in Miami for your Hurricanes. Alabama put the smack down on the Canes, a 44-13 beatdown. But Michael Irvin, a witness up close and personal, watching his alma mater from the sidelines. Michael, the only reminder, there he is, throwing up the U of Miami's glory days. Now, we all know Alabama is one of the most storied programs in college football history, but Miami is too. Bama has won 13 championships in the AP poll era, the most of any school. Miami has 5 themselves. Now, mostly during the 80s, where the U won 58 straight home games. That's when you were there, Michael, and you guys were truly culture changers. So tell me this. Do you ever think Miami will be a national powerhouse like that again, the U's glory days when you start there?
And we always say that. We always ask that question, and we put that on Miami. Get back to this. That's an incredible era. It's an era that obviously what we're watching right now, the domination that Alabama has had right now still hadn't topped what we did. They still have not had 58 straight home victories. That's what you're saying. This Miami team, go do that. And to reach that, I don't think they will ever reach that. It's just so huge in what we did. But to get back to somewhere in this fight, somewhere in this game, go and win 10, 11 games, try to get back in these playoffs. Yes, I do believe Miami and Coach Manny Diaz can get back to that.
Your position is laughable. Absolutely laughable. Now, I will give you this. It was very, very entertaining to watch the U back in the day. I mean, as much as I loved watching you and a few of the other cats, I also loved watching Vinny Testaverde and the brothers roll up in the fatigues and all of that other stuff. You know, I get all of that. And I also pay attention to the fact that 3 different coaches gave you undefeated seasons. In Jimmy Johnson, the great Jimmy Johnson. Okay, Dennis Erickson, all right, and Larry Coker.
Right.
And still, you got 5 national titles. Saban got more than you by himself. He got more than your program. Let's put this in its proper perspective. Let's also hold on. Here's the other thing. You were an independent when you were playing at Miami.
Right.
Then y'all went to the Big East. Then after that, they've been in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Did they win when were they in the ACC when they won the last national title in 2001? No, they weren't member of the Big East Conference. Now, Molly. Now, playmaker Michael Irvin. Let me ask you a question, man. I mean, SEC. Big East, Big East, SEC. I mean, look, man. Let's stop it. No, what I'm trying to say, wait a minute. At no time in the history of Miami's program did they ever play in a conference like the SEC. Is that a fact? Yes or no?
But let me say this.
I'm just saying, is that a fact? Yes or no?
It's a fact. But let me say this also.
Yep.
When we're talking about now, we're in this playoff era.
Yeah.
These 3 or 4 games, these 3 or 4 teams that get in every year. I don't know.
How they get there?
Okay, but when we came up, the 3 or 4 teams that were out to Oklahoma and Nebraska would have killed them. So if we were in a playoff like that, a 4-game play, we'd have won 10 or 12 of them. And I do believe that. Really? Now, back then, it was all these polls and everybody deciding on who was a national champion.
I remember.
So it was more subjective than objective. When you give it to objectivity, we would have ran over all of those top teams if I met them all the time in a final.
The playoffs are subjective. You got teams every year arguing about who should have been in and who should have been out. So we understand that at the end of the day, somehow, some way, Alabama ends up there.
I'm not fighting how great Alabama is.
And I'm not fighting.
And what I'm saying is what Miami ran into, Alabama was playing us. Alabama was playing the history of Miami.
I am not trying to take anything. 5 national championships, and 3 separate coaches giving that to you. And by the way, y'all were culture changers as well. Let's give Miami major credit for that, because I like the element that they brought to the sport of college football. I appreciate that.
No doubt.
But at the end of the day, the level of dominance, when you talk about 58 straight home games, at some point in time, how many times, Molly, I bring up 2 things, and you can attest to this because he may not know. 2 things I always bring up with Molly. I bring up resume. And I bring up competition. And it amazes me how we ignore competition sometimes when we're praising somebody and what they've done. Well, you know, a lot of people could be the tallest dude in the small man contest.
We didn't have competition in those Florida teams and those Florida State games. I hope you ain't talking about those were not great games or those were not great teams.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know you are not saying that.
I'm saying your consistent level of competition was not comparable to what Alabama has to face in the SEC. That's what I'm saying. That's indisputable, Mike. That's indisputable. You can't argue that.
I don't necessarily buy that. I don't necessarily buy it. I'm not saying that the SEC right now, SEC has some great schools. You know, the Auburn's, Alabama, great schools, great competition. But we played. That's when Oklahoma's and all of the Nebraskas, all those teams we went through, were dominated, just like those SEC teams you're talking about right now. So don't try to tell me
So you're saying it's not apples to apples.
Right. We played dominating teams
because the conferences are different now, and then obviously with the playoffs, it's different now. So you can't necessarily
we were beating them.
And if I'm wrong about this, fair. But my recollection is that usually, and I understand Florida State's a different animal. I get all of that. The great Bobby Bowden when he was coaching them.
Right, we were recruiting right there in the same
and it was
area.
more Florida State more so than Florida, but nevertheless, here's the bottom line.
Are you trying to tell me those teams couldn't compete today?
I'm not
they
saying
couldn't
that.
go into that.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you usually win against that level of competition with the title on the line. Alabama faces these brothers middle of the season and somehow, some way mows them down. And Nick Saban's been doing it all of these years. And all I'm just saying, the level of dominance.
I'm trying to understand what are you saying?
I'm telling you,
you're talking about the level of competition.
I'm saying, when you're acting like Miami achieved great things, even though I'm not taking away, I'm saying to me it doesn't compare to what Alabama has done. You were an independent, then you were in the Big East Conference. I mean, are you kidding me? And before you go to the ACC, that ain't the SEC.
And I'm saying I didn't see them. Were they not still in school? Were they not still playing then? Where were they?
No, we're comparing what Alabama has been doing to what Miami used to do.
Right.
And I'm telling you what Miami used to do.
And you're trying to demean the competition that we went through as if Alabama has gone through more competition when they only had to play these 3 or 4 teams every year. These same 3 or 4 teams every year. I don't agree with that.
When we look at that,
I don't agree with it. Maybe the SEC has stacked the division now, but I don't agree with
that's where I'm
competition.
going. I'm saying to you, forget Alabama for a second. When you look at the rest of their conference, and if you took away Miami and you looked at the rest of your conference and the competition that you went against, I'm saying to you, Alabama might make that competition look weak, but they're relatively strong against everybody else. It's just that when they roll up against Alabama, they find out what the truth is. I don't know why the hell you wasted your time going to Atlanta for that game. What would make you think that it's wise for you to go and show your face like it was going to make a difference? Why would you subject yourself to that imminent beatdown? Everybody and their grandmama knew what was coming.
I like the throwback jacket.
Why would you even go? What for what? What were you thinking? So you just want to go to Atlanta.
I go to support my boys.
All the support in the world was going to You would have supported them more by staying away.
That was okay. That was okay too. They needed to see what they needed to see, and they got a chance to see just how much they have to go.
What did they say?
And no doubt, Alabama right now is what it is. Yeah. But I still ain't gonna sit right here, and let you talk about this SEC as if those teams we beat then could dominate the SEC right now. And I say that is not so.
Okay.
Stephen A., does this do anything for you? Over the last 20 years, Alabama's had the 3rd best recruiting class, Miami 13th. The fact that they were able to get 5 championships with the 13th with not having the top recruiting class.
Time out. Last championship for Miami was 2001. That's 20 years ago. Y'all act like they just
right.
the corner.
I gave you 20 years.
20 weeks.
Now you're trying to change it up. Nobody was talking about the distance. We were talking about the eras. Now you want to try to talk about, Miami ain't won in 20 years. Ain't nobody was talking about that. We were comparing the eras. And this that little David Copperfield thing you do right here. You move the shell around when you want to change the argument, but we're going to bring it right back to where it was. It is about the competition in the eras, and the competition then can reach the competition that you're talking about right now.
And I'm saying to you,
those Florida State teams can go through the SEC.
I beg the difference, but Molly bringing us up for 20 years ago.
Oh, come on, man. See what I'm saying?
They're recruiting class.
Don't even fall for this, Pete. Don't fall for this. See, he realized, and now he wants to go.
They're not working with the same folks.
They're not working with
the same folks.
That's right.
Oh my God! Come on, man. We were talking errors.
Can I make you feel better?
I understand what Stephen A. is doing. I understand what Stephen A. is doing. This is what you call call.
trying to
If you
rain on your
can't convince
parade.
him, you're trying to confuse him. You try to do something to move it around. But the reality is, it wasn't how long Minor has won. It was about the era. This era right here that Alabama has right now.
Y'all were independent.
And we were talking about the competition
That's right.
that each have gone through. And I was telling you,
Mike,
come on, man.
don't let me look at the schedule.
Don't try to bring that up. Don't try to bring that up.
Don't let me look at the schedule. You were independent, and then you went to the Big East Conference and tried to act like that's comparable to being in the SEC.
Did Alabama change the culture?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. They did.
Not that culture.
Listen. Oh, no.
Yes,
They ain't changed culture like that. But what
They
I'm
do.
saying to you is this. Listen, you look at Alabama. Look, LSU. Why? Do you realize that Alabama's greatness is what elevates the other programs? Because you look at Georgia, you look at LSU, and you go like this, damn, they got a chance. They're pretty damn good. They play Alabama competitive. All of a sudden, they move up in the rankings even after a loss. But Miami, near South Beach, still struggling. It's been 20 years. Now, I like Derrick King. I like him a lot. But
Here again, Stephen A., I'm not talking about those teams are great teams.
Right.
I'm arguing the fact that you're saying those teams that we played couldn't play with those teams, that the level of competition was not tantamount to each other, and that is not true.
I agree with that. I don't agree. I'm saying I agree with the earlier point that I made. I don't believe the level of competition.
Oh, God.
Y'all had back in the day.
No,
it's comparable to what?
Okay.
Oklahoma back then, the Barry Switzer teams would have ran through some of them. It was SEC.
Are you a Barry Switzer fan now?
No, I'm just saying. That's what we had to come and knock over.
All right, speaking of running through the competition, if Tom Brady goes back-to-back again, where would that rank him on his all-time list of accomplishments? Michael Irvin with the take I promise you will want to hear, unless you're a Michael Jordan fan.
Why would you even go to Atlanta for that game?
And there's more where that came from. If Michael had to pick...
boy, and I'm going to support my boys forever.
Michael had to pick someone other...
Thank you, Molly. Let me tell y'all something right now. It's a new day here at First Take. My man Michael Irvin is in on Mondays. You're going to see Keyshawn tomorrow. You're going to see Marcus Spears Wednesday. You're going to see the Dan Orlovskis, the Jeff Saturdays, the Mina Combs, the Kimberly Martins. Tim Tebow will be here on Fridays. Ryan Clark, let me not forget my brother as well, along with Jeff Saturday, Teddy Bruschi, and others. All of that is good. All of that is automatic. But I wanted to send this message to everybody out here. I've been sitting in that chair for years, basically since 2012. And on many, many occasions, many of you in the world of sports, as well as the world of entertainment, even some of you fans out there have actually challenged me. So I want to let you know something very, very important. Sitting across from me, I'm open to any and all comers. I'm looking for everybody. Instead of people looking for me, I'm looking for y'all. So I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be looking for who's challenging me. And don't be surprised if you end up sitting across from me, because the invitation is open. I kept telling y'all for years, I hide from nobody. See y'all soon. Trust me.
Oh, boy. Nobody's hiding. Tom Brady especially not. He sees himself in Tampa for a long time, fellas, telling Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times. Hopefully, I'll be here for a long time, for many years. If Brady goes back-to-back again, it would obviously be another career milestone for Brady, who has a laundry list of them, and it would solidify him even further as the NFL's greatest of all time. But how does he stack up against the GOAT in the association? His airness. Tom Brady and Michael Jordan both played in 14 All-Star or Pro Bowl games. Brady has the edge in total championships, but MJ has more MVPs. Michael Irvin, which leads me to this question. Has Brady now surpassed Michael Jordan? I'm talking GOAT of all GOATs.
Hey, man, listen. Absolutely, for me. Tom Brady, say what you will, is the GOAT of all GOATs. First of all, if we're going to measure GOATs, let's start with that first number right there. 7. 6. Jordan had 6 championships, and everybody talks about the 6. Anybody ever chase 6? Anybody ever chase 6? You remember when Terry had 4 Super Bowls? This man went to won 6, and he just won a 7. That's it. It's over. We don't need to talk about what it takes to win an NFL championship versus what it takes to win an NBA championship. It is way more difficult to win an NFL championship than it is to win an NBA championship, and this man has won more than he has won in his. You can stop it, Stop messing with it. Go ahead and claim it. Give it to him. He almost had an undefeated season. Nobody else has done that. Nobody. He's not just winning. He's putting up incredible numbers as he wins. And then he just moved his whole team and won again. Case closed. I don't even want to talk about it, even though we will, if he wins another one. He doesn't need to win another one. That would just be cream on top of cream, on top of another strawberry. He's already the GOAT of all. He's just a GOAT.
Your arguments continue to get worse by the minute. Let me tell you something, Michael Irvin.
You know, just because you say that don't mean it's true, but go ahead. I ain't going to say not another word.
On first take, it's the gospel, but that's different.
Okay.
That's different. We'll talk about that another day. Michael Irvin, last time I checked, he won one Super Bowl because Adam Vinatieri kicked the field goal, right? He would have kicked the field goal against the St. Louis Rams. Don't get me wrong. Stay with me.
Go.
Because the reason I bring that up is because when kickers mess up, you want them exiled from the sport. That's Michael Irvin I'm talking to right now. Michael Irvin want them exiled from the sport. So, in other words, if you want them exiled from the sport when they miss, you got to give them credit when they win. That's one Super Bowl, okay? Last time I checked, he's been to 10 Super Bowls. He's lost 3. All right, this is Tom Brady. As great as he is, phenomenal as he is, and clearly the GOAT of quarterbacks. When we talk about the GOAT in terms of all sports, I would remind you, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the greatest basketball player to have ever lived, #1 on Mount Rushmore, a 6-time champion, a 6-time NBA Finals MVP, unblemished in competition, in championship competition, has never lost a championship series, never even allowed it to get to a Game 7. Ever! Tom Brady lost to the Giants not once but twice with Eli Manning, who struggled to complete 60% of his passes, with Tom Coughlin, who ain't even in the sport right now, being the coach against Bill Belichick. That dude, okay? That's what happened with Tom Brady. Let's not forget this other point, too. Very, very important. Last time I checked, Tom Brady could throw. But when we talk about athlete, when we talk about the goal, even if Tom Brady ain't going to be accused of outrunning anybody, he ain't going to be accused of blocking anybody, he ain't going to be accused of being a running back, he certainly ain't a wide receiver, he's not an offensive lineman. There are a multitude of components that go with the sport of football. And oh, by the way, he does not play defense nor special teams. Michael Jordan was one of the elite defenders in the game of basketball. He was clearly the elite scorer in the game of basketball. Obviously, he was a leader. Okay, so when we look at it from that perspective, and Tom Brady, and when you bring up Tom Brady and what he has done, and again, not taking anything away from the brother because he is elite, he is special, we all get that. But the flip side is he's got 3 blemishes in championship competition. Okay, the flip side, he lost to the Giants twice, lost to the Philadelphia Eagles once. Okay, we got to take, by the way, that was a backup quarterback that beat him in the Super Bowl, which was Nick Foles. Let's not forget that. And by the way, he should have had another loss with Seattle if Pete Carroll and Darrell Bevell would have decided to give Beast Mode the ball at the half-yard line instead of trying to throw a slant pattern from Russell Wilson. I mean, these are the kind of things that have happened, and you can't ignore that.
And you cannot ignore all of those things. But I want you to tell me this, you cannot ignore this, what I'm about to say, too.
Sure.
These are different sports. And so, yeah, Michael Jordan plays defense, but Michael Jordan also can control the game by himself.
I agree.
Because in basketball, you have individual, isolated success. Michael Jordan can take the ball off one rim and go dunk it on the other, and he does it all by himself. In football, everything is interdependent, interconnected. You can't have individual, isolated success. So in basketball, I got to lead 10, 11 men. In football, I got to lead 52 men. 52 men. I got to lead from the sideline when the defense is on the field. And that's what Tom Brady is doing. So you're going to tell me the greatest athlete, you want to talk about great athlete? He is a great athlete. The greatest athlete goes out and wins. We expect that. The 199th pick goes out and wins 7. We didn't expect that. So you can't just tell me about what he accomplished. Tell me about the distance he had to travel to accomplish what he accomplished. And nobody traveled more distance than this man right here, Tom Brady.
Hold on. Well, there's a mistake in your argument, a huge hole. And a huge hole that comes in your argument, Michael Irvin, is that I've had the luxury of watching you communicate about Tom Brady over the years. Matter of fact, I even showed you joking on Instagram about him, about maybe if he worked hard, he'd get another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of this other stuff.
Yes, sir.
But you also pointed out how many times his defense came to the rescue. You also pointed to the greatness of Bill Belichick. I'm not trying to say that Tom Brady doesn't deserve credit. What I'm trying to say is that when you call somebody the GOAT of GOATs, you're talking about them as an individual and what they were able to accomplish. I'm saying to you, making the points that you made about Michael Jordan and what he was able to do as an individual on both ends of the court,
Right.
along with his leadership,
Right.
highlights and illuminates the fact that he's that dude. Tom Brady, based on what you just articulated, has had significant assistance, as would anybody in football, because that's what's required.
I don't remember Michael Jordan winning one championship without Scottie Pippen. I remember everybody saying, "Oh, he needs some more help." When Detroit was doing their thing to him.
Hold on.
So don't act as if Jordan came right in and started dominating and taking everybody to him. Jordan needed help. I don't remember you stop saying a word when Jordan kicked that ball out the curve or Paxton and dropped that shot to help them win a game. You're going to talk about Tom Brady, field goal kicker. Somebody else made shots also.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying.
But who facilitated it? Tom Brady don't play defense. Tom Brady don't play special teams.
That's the way the game is constructed.
I understand
but still,
that.
he has to make sure they play great defense.
So let me be very crystal clear about what I'm saying. No football player, in my opinion, can ever be the GOAT in overall in the world of sports. They can be the GOAT in their respective sport, but in my opinion, no football player can ever be the GOAT.
Why?
Because of what you talk about in terms of the help needed. They can't play every position.
Oh my God, this man went to a whole nother team. Another team.
They cannot.
This team ain't got nowhere clear near a Super Bowl. This man went to this team and picked this team up. All these new faces that came from different places all came together as one under his leadership. And you gonna discount that?
Time out. I didn't discount it.
And win the championship.
Hold it. I didn't discount it.
What are you doing in Washington?
You did. Just a few minutes ago when you said Tom Brady was blessed because the competition that he was going against had injuries at every stop.
No doubt.
You just said that.
No doubt.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
But he still got it done. He still got it done.
This is so
in
good.
the first year, he's like,
I'm just saying he enjoyed it.
Gentlemen.
Oh, come on.
right.
Man. Come on, man. Listen, he still got it done.
It's
Seven
so
titles.
good. We're not done with this. We're not done with this. Don't worry.
Seven.
Everyone's sticking with their respective sports. We got Jerry Jones waiting. So if Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin had to pick one fan base other than the Cowboys to call America's team, who would they pick? The answer might surprise you. Stay tuned. And we are not done with that debate. Jerry Jones calling us too. Stay here. It's First Take. College football quick takes, vamos. This was the Iowa-Indiana game where an Indiana player's jersey was spelled wrong. Stephen A., are you giving a pass for Indiana spelling?
No, I'm not. That's kind of inexcusable. There's no way around it. I feel sorry for the person that made that mistake because they're going to be in a world of trouble because that's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, it's a college institution. It's an institution of higher learning. You're supposed to know how to spell.
Indiana. We figured it out. Michael, this is bad. Michael. Miami, Saturday versus the Tide was a rough one, including this when they prematurely took out the turnover change before the play got called back. How embarrassing is this?
Yeah, it looks bad, but I'm going to tell you something what I thought. I said, man, it was only 27-0. I believe that could have been the turning point. We were going to ignite the comeback right there. That's what was going down, y'all. I don't want to hear that. If we get that turnover, we go down and score. We're only down a couple scores. That could have been the one.
Coulda. Stephen A., college game day was at the Dukes. A lot of things coulda, Michael. Mayo Classic, Georgia versus Clemson in Charlotte. Bob Iger was a fan.
Oh, my God.
Are you a fan of the Mayo here? Oh
my God.
I usually agree with the mastermind that is the great, phenomenal Bob Iger.
Yes.
This is not one of those moments. That is absolutely disgusting. I
like mayo on my bread, but that's a lot for me.
It's not as bad as the dude that was eating spoonfuls of mayonnaise with nothing else.
Oh, no.
That's worse. But that's bad enough.
No. All right, let's move on to the NFL. ESPN's FBI has your Steelers, Stephen A., they have the second hardest schedule in the NFL, while our own Mike Clay has them with the hardest schedule. So already, obviously, a tough AFC North division. The Black and Yellow also have to play the Bills, the Packers, the Seahawks, the Titans, the Chiefs, among others. So, Stephen A., we all think so highly of Mike Tomlin and what a phenomenal coach he is.
Yeah.
But do you think this is the first time he'll have a losing season?
Hell no. I'm not concerned about it just at all. You understand what I'm saying? Cream rises to the top. You know, the bottom line is the harder the road to prosperity, the more champions answer the call, okay? Mike Tomlin's a champion. Mike Tomlin's an elite coach. Mike Tomlin's will get this together. I am worried. I'll openly confess.
Okay.
I am worried about the offensive line.
You should.
They've got new bodies on the offensive line. I get it. And communication, chemistry, all of those things are incredibly important with offensive linemen because you got to know how to look out for one another and play together. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. Ben Roethlisberger ain't done yet. He knows a thing or two. He still got a few tricks in his bag. He don't like the way they finished the last season with the last 5 games, losing 5 games over the last 6 weeks, including a playoff game to the Cleveland Browns. He's going to avenge that. When you look at the weapons that he has available to them, you've got Juju Smith-Schuster coming back. He could have went to Kansas City. He decides to come back to Pittsburgh. You got Deontay Johnson, okay? You've got James Washington.
What?
You got this brother Chase Claypool who can ball. You got Eric Ebron at the tight end spot. And by the way, the last 3 years that the Steelers, because we ain't even talk about their defense, because we know their defense is elite. We know with Minka Fitzpatrick and stuff down to it in the crew, they're going to be ready, okay? Cameron Hayward and those boys. But the point is, so defense, they're going to be good. Offensively, what was their biggest problem? Their biggest problem is they couldn't run the football, okay? Primarily because they didn't have a big-time running back. Barry Snell could play, okay? We get all of that. We understand it. But he ain't no Najee Harris out of Alabama. Oh, hell no. So now that you got him, you got somebody to give the ball to. You ain't asking Big Ben Roethlisberger to throw the ball 600 times. You're looking more between 425, 450, okay? You do that. You run the ball more. You don't have one of the worst 3 rushing attacks in the National Football League. And as a result, you get back to smash mouth football. Guys that like to play finesse football, okay, they're going to run into a team that's going to punch them in the mouth, all right, and handle their business like Rough Riders. And as a result, the Steelers are going to walk away with the AFC North crown.
Oh,
that's what's going to happen.
Now you're tripping.
That's what's going to happen.
Let's hold to where we were. Let's hold to where we were. Is he going to experience his first losing season? You know, made him always. And I'm saying, let's stick to that. Let's not talk about them winning the division because that's how you ended it. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what you do. Can I crystallize that for you? You just did 2 things right there. We are talking about, is he having a losing season? I'm saying, boy, this does not look good for him. This does not look good for him. And I love Mike Tomlin. I mean, it's a bad man. And I mean, you talking about winning and coach knows how to win. But all those players, just like you said with Zach Martin, all those players you just mentioned that they have coming back at Pittsburgh, they were there last year when they went on that losing run towards the end of the season. You remember that? All those great talent, all those guys were there, except Najee Harris, and I do give you that. I look at this schedule, Stephen A. I see the Raiders, you got to win. I see the Bengals, you got to win. The Broncos, you have to win. I see the Lions, easy to win. The Bengals, and maybe the Vikings right there. That's 6 wins. In order to not have a losing season this year, 8 wins don't do you good. You got to go in there and find another 3 victories. And, boy, I don't see that for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I see, boy, it'll be hard. Maybe the Bears. Yeah, they'll beat the Bears. So now they're at 7. Where else can they go? That's what I'm talking about. The rest of these teams, the rest of these teams are all top teams, and they will not. I'm gonna end it with you. They will not win the division. Okay, they will not win. They will be 3rd in this division, behind Cleveland and Baltimore.
That's what the odds make.
Because Cleveland. Oh, the people in Vegas agree with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that because I don't even mess with the Vegas. But I'm telling you.
I don't give a damn what Vegas has to say. My brother Joe Fortenbaugh, that does great work on ESPN Plus. By the way, did a great job hosting ESPN Radio yesterday. Way to go, my brother Joe Fortenbaugh. He's big time out of Vegas. Daily bet streaming on ESPN Plus, all of that. But let me tell you something right now. Give a damn about none of that. I'll tell you exactly what the Steelers going to do right now, okay? First of all, they're going to beat Vegas week 2. All right, they're going to win at least 3 games within the division between Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland. They win at least 3. They ain't losing more than 3 of those games in the division. They're going to win at least 3 of those games. Right? So we got 3 victories. We got Vegas, okay? They're going to beat Vegas. They're going to beat Denver, okay? They're going to beat Seattle. That's going to be in Pittsburgh. They're going to win that game, okay? They're going to beat Chicago on Monday night. That's also in Pittsburgh. Chicago ain't beat them in Pittsburgh. All right, Detroit, oh, please. All right, I gave you 8 games right there, okay? So now, let's see where we're going to get the other 3. Okay, can they win at Minnesota? Yes, they can win at Minnesota. Can they beat the Chargers?
Not beating the Titans. They're not beating the Chiefs.
Hold on. They can beat the Chargers. They can beat the Chargers.
It's a good game.
And they got Tennessee at home. They're going to win that game. So I gave you 11 games.
Chargers, Seattle, Tennessee, Stephen A. Those aren't just gimmies.
I didn't say that.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Tennessee's real good.
Did I utter the word get me.
Well, you said
Out of my mouth.
wins.
I said win.
Well,
They gonna win. And by the way, all home games, they're winning those games. I gave you 11 wins. I gave you 11 wins.
Oh,
Right there.
stop.
I gave you 11 wins right there.
Stop. Get out of there, man. They're not winning 11 games. They're not winning. Not the team that ended last year. We're not winning 11 games this year.
I understand the team that ended last year. What about the team that won the first 11 games last year?
Yeah, they're not.
They still won 11 games?
Yeah, they're not.
Excuse me.
And it took 11 games for everybody to figure out, hey, let's just press these wide receivers and come up, because Ben Roethlisberger can't throw the ball deep anymore.
Okay.
The ball hangs up and we'll get it. And I guarantee you.
Ben Roethlisberger can't throw the deep ball?
Oh, well, why didn't they get the ball deep last year?
Well, excuse me. They had a lot of problems.
Yeah, they had
problems that we go fix.
Regardless of why he can't throw it, he can't throw it. Whether it's protection or his arm. Are you trying to say Ben Roethlisberger didn't have a problem with his arm late last season?
No. He was his first year.
Did he not say his arm getting
I think his
tired?
arm is stronger now. He'll be fine.
Okay.
He'll be fine.
Mike
that's what you
Tomlin
hope.
has the most regular season wins since he took over in
He's a
2007.
bad man,
only
man. He's a bad man.
behind, of course, the Patriots, who have
New
more.
offensive
He's going to join us on Wednesday.
New offensive
so we'll ask
coordinator.
him about if he thinks 11 wins too.
Listen,
See what Mike
well,
says
he ain't
about
gonna
that.
say 11 wins because he ain't gonna predict he's gonna lose 6. But the bottom line is this: got a new offensive coordinator. Fickner's out. They got a new cat up in there that was your quarterback's coach.
Okay.
His first year gonna change things up.
All
It's
right.
gonna be all right.
We're reaching now.
He's gonna be all right.
Let's-
He's here
let's
to
go
prepare
break.
for life after Ben, because this will be Ben's last season.
Matt
We'll
Canada.
call it.
Still to come, he's called the playmaker for a reason, y'all. We're going to ask Michael and Stephen A. who they think is the biggest playmaker in sports music, though.
That was perfect, man.
Yeah.
It was perfect with Stephen
For
A. Carson.
Stephen A's
Leave that in
funeral.
there. Leave that in. That was perfect, man. Those boys did a great job with it.
They did.
That was fun.
No question.
Job, yeah.
All right, so obviously, the Hall of Famer, if you're just joining us, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, is here each and every Monday. Always a good time. We're excited about that. Coming with those simmering hot takes, Michael. So because your nickname is the playmaker, I want to ask you this. Who is the best playmaker in all of sports?
You know, that all started, the playmaker, with guys saying, oh, man, I can cover you, and they do, but the play is still made, hence the playmaker. He makes plays that are not there. You talked about it, Stephen A. You talked about it earlier. You talked about Tom Brady winning with guys that were less talented. That's called making plays that were not there. We talked about Tom Brady leaving New England, going to Tampa. And this team, Tampa, had no shot at getting to a Super Bowl. But Tom Brady made the play that was not there and got that team to a Super Bowl. When you're talking about the greatest playmaker right now in the game, I have to hearken back to Tom Brady. Because he continues to make the plays.
Again, in sports.
In sports. Right now, the greatest playmaker in sports right now is Tom Brady. Because he goes, wherever he goes, he's making plays that nobody sees.
You do understand that most people wouldn't feel he's the greatest playmaker in football. They would think that's Patrick Mahomes. You do know that.
But because they got a wrong definition of making plays. They want some excitement of making plays, some old big play of making plays.
Right.
A playmaker is the guy that make the plays. Hey, Kansas City is the most talented team in the world, right? They got all those plays they're making, they're wide open. Those are that's not a playmaker. Tom Brady is the playmaker. He's doing things that you don't see, things that you're right there and you can't stop.
So, Michael Irvin, you ever heard of somebody named LeBron James?
Oh, my God.
Are we talking about a
Oh, my
four-time
God.
champion?
Oh, my
We're talking
God.
about a guy that's going to 10 NBA Finals. We're talking about a guy, guy that's going to be, he's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball in the history of the game, one of the top 4 players in the history of basketball. I would put him top 2. A guy that I'm just looking at his number. I just want to throw this by you right now, Michael Irvin, because I want to make sure that you know about this. Right now, at this moment, in 18 seasons, LeBron James has 35,367 points. LeBron James has 9,696 assists. LeBron James has shot for his career 50.4% from the field. Okay? And oh, by the way, yes, he won championships with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Yes, he won another championship with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Yes, he won a championship with Anthony Davis. But LeBron James, despite the greatness he has been around, has universally been recognized. I mean, right now I got Kevin Durant as number one, but has universally been recognized clearly as the greatest player on his squad, religiously so. And so when I say to you, he's a point, he doesn't just score, he assists, he runs an offense, he's one of, if not the greatest passer in the game right now. When you look at all of that and his resume, are you trying to tell me that Tom Brady is a greater playmaker than LeBron James?
You guys confuse dynamic plays with playmaking. You're talking about Patrick Holmes, dynamic plays. Those are dynamic
They're
plays.
spectacular.
We're spectacular. And we,
but who got the ring? I get what he's saying.
No. And I'm talking about, I'm talking about not just the ring. I'm talking about who are making plays. You didn't expect, who expected Tom Brady to go over to Tampa and lead this team to a Super Bowl?
LeBron won titles in Miami, Cleveland, and LA.
Okay, but listen, right. LeBron winning, added and built championships. Tom Brady first made plays right there where he was drafted. He didn't add anything. He first made plays there, and then he got transported.
Well, what the hell was LeBron James doing? Chilling in the iPick theater, kicking up his food, eating popcorn?
LeBron wasn't making enough plays in Cleveland when he got drafted. LeBron didn't win no championships there. LeBron left there and went to Miami, where he got two more guys, and then said, now I'm going to win a championship, and then go back to Cleveland.
He didn't win a championship. Did LeBron James get the Cleveland Cavaliers with himself and a bunch of no-names to the finals against the Spurs?
Now you want to give credit to losing when you were just on Tom Brady for losing. So you want to vacillate this thing. So only when it works for you, losing is okay. But when it doesn't, because Tom Brady lost. He lost right there. But when I bring up, okay, but you just said it. I'm saying LeBron James lost in Cleveland.
Yeah, but he won in 3 different places, including Cleveland. What did Tom Brady have in Tampa last year? Did you say he had Antonio Brown? Did we look at Mike Evans and Chris Godwin? Did
Tom Brady make plays? Did he come off a bench and start making plays like a playmaker and take that team to a Super Bowl? Did he do it? The team that he got drafted by. He didn't have to leave and go learn how to do it by Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and then come back and implement the learning in Cleveland to win a championship. He made championships in New England and then took what he knew into Tampa and won a championship there.
Did you not on many occasions rave about Bill Belichick and the greatness of his
Absolutely. Come on, man. All that's part of it, man.
That's part of it. All right,
that's the coach. That's still his original
part of it. Not casting any aspersions or disrespecting anybody.
Right.
But the Paul Silases, the Mike Browns of the world, people like that. The cat that came over from Europe to coach Cleveland before Ty Lue took over. Eric Spoelstra wasn't Eric Spoelstra until LeBron got to Miami, even though he was a damn good coach.
But LeBron wasn't a champ until LeBron got to Miami. Not as much in basketball.
Not as much in football. But what I'm saying is that there is something to be said. There is something to be said. Kobe and Shaq couldn't get it done. And then Phil Jackson came and they won the first year, and year 2 and year 3. There's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about learning how to win. Now, if you won, Molly, and the playmaker will contest to this, if you've won, the transition to moving elsewhere and winning is a bit easier because you already know how to win. The hardest part is learning how to win. And when LeBron James first arrived in Cleveland, he didn't know. And so to be subjected to what he was subjected to, he had to go elsewhere to learn how to win, which was why, even though Eric Spoelstra was the coach and Eric Spoelstra was the head coach for the Miami Heat, there was Pat Riley up in there showing him the rings and saying, you want one of these, here's how to get it. Because you got to have that culture, and you got to have all of those things in place. He didn't have that.
Right. But you said something. The hardest part is learning how to win. I say the hardest part is giving how to win to 52 other men. It's not for me learning how to win. It's me learning, and now I got to give it. Because smart says I have information. Brilliant says I know how to pass it on. And Tom Brady knew how to pass it on.
Did you remember?
It's so different.
No. The playmaker also knows somebody by the name of Ty Law. Is that correct?
Yes.
We remember Ty Law used to play with the New England Patriots.
Yes.
And if he didn't say this quote, I apologize, but I think it was him. It was somebody that spoke publicly that said, we love Tom Brady, we revere him, he's phenomenal and fantastic, whatever. But make no mistake, those first 2 years, it wasn't him showing us how to win. It was the other way around.
No doubt.
Okay, it was the other way around.
Okay,
he was a beneficiary of that.
Of the Patriot way.
But whoa. Right. They were running the football. They were playing great defense.
Yes.
But the ball touches Tom Brady's hand every play. He has to make the right decision. So, yes, hey, great Ty Law, great defense, Ty Law. But all Tom Brady has to do, if he makes a bad play, so he's learning how to win championships first by not making mistakes as he learns how to open up the field. Why are you counting that a discount against him? Yes, he had training wheels on, but he didn't make the crucial mistake that young quarterbacks make in this game every day. How many times do we talk about the mistakes that they make, and that's what get them in trouble?
What you're doing right now is hurting the world of sports arguments in this respect. Stay with me. Too many people out there accuse hating with touching on the subject at hand. You're right if we just talking about a blanket subject. The subject is who's the best playmaker in sports. So what you're doing is you're saying the elite, the creme de la creme, and that's the debate. I'm not throwing any shade on Tom Brady. I'm simply pointing out when he first got in the league, he had the benefit of having Bill Belichick and structure and culture and experience surrounding him until he learned. And so as a result, he benefited from that. A lot of people don't have that at their benefit. They don't have that luxury. And that's the point.
Having a benefit and making what he made out of it are two different things. A lot of people do have opportunity. They don't make what he made out of the opportunity they have. This is what you're missing. That is the part that you're missing. So he came into a great situation. It wasn't a great situation. New England hadn't won anything. New England hadn't done anything. And they had Drew Bledsoe. They had a pretty good team.
Right.
And then Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Right.
And he took over the team.
Right.
But he made the right plays, the right call. That did not make the mistake
Stephen
to
A.
win
says
those
it's
games.
LeBron.
It's LeBron.
Oh, my God.
Michael Irvin says it's Tom Brady. I'd like to
cannot
give an
take
honorable
anything away.
mention before you jump all over me. Last season with Steph Curry, because he did a phenomenal job. I know you're going to say he's just a shooter, but no
Not
Klay
just a shooter.
Thompson.
You guys, man.
Playmaker as well. I'd like to throw Steph Curry in there.
You do not have Steph Curry behind Magic Johnson as the greatest point guard in NBA history because of his impact.
Then
on
you're
the
with
sport.
it. Then you like my honorable mention.
Steph Curry is
All right.
He's a bad boy.
Let's keep it rolling,
those
guys.
two bad
The
boys, but none of them
Cowboys-
are better than Tom Brady.
Tommy, Teflon, Tom. The
Tom
Cowboys
Brady.
will be without one of their key old linemen against the stout Buccaneers defense.